Booster cookies. An item that many Hypixel Skyblock players will kind of debate as to whether it's worth buying them or not at some point while playing Skyblock. But not only that, they have interesting mechanics. You see, unlike most items in Hypixel Skyblock, a booster cookie can only really be created if real life money is spent. Each booster cookie costs 325 gems, which are purchasable with real life money in the Hypixel store. In return for those gems and that hard-earned money, you'll get a booster cookie. That booster cookie can either be consumed, or it can be sold on the bazaar for coins. In other words, it's a Hypixel-approved way of buying coins. Now, in the past we took a look at the price of booster cookies and, somewhat of the price of IRL traded coins that you can find pretty much anywhere. And, of course, booster cookies are way more expensive. And, for that reason, we could decipher the reason why people decide to IRL trade is because it's way, way cheaper. Of course, it's a massive risk. You shouldn't do it. It's against TOS. It's just not worth the risk. But that's not what we're going to be delving into today. While Hypixel Skyblock isn't quote-unquote pay to win, because you don't have to buy coins, you don't have to buy cookies to do well in the game, the booster cookie economy is really quite interesting. Booster cookies at the moment are expensive. They're 11.8 million coins if you were to insta-buy them, and earlier today I saw them at 13.5 million. But why? Why do they increase in price, and why do they decrease? Well, we'll get into that in just a little bit. First of all, are they even worth buying? Well, the short answer is yes. Everybody has a fame rank. You can basically increase your fame rank by contributing to the city projects, spending bits and gems with Elizabeth. The higher your total fame, the higher your fame rank is, and basically, the more bits you get from each cookie. For instance, for me here, with just over 3 million fame, with a bits multiplier of 1.9, meaning that I get 9,120 bits per cookie. If I was to, for instance, buy Kismet Feathers, which aren't always the most efficient, and we'll get into that in just a minute, we'd be able to buy around about 6.75 Kismet Feathers per cookie. Well, if we were to sell for our Kismet Feathers, we'd get about 1.845 million coins, which means that per cookie, I'd be bringing in around about 12.5 million coins. Yeah. Of course, if you buy those with bits, then in game terms, it's pure profit. Of course, you've paid real money. But for me, if I was to insta-buy a booster cookie, for instance, I'd be making 600k profit just from simply having the booster cookie on and benefiting from all the buffs, and then selling the items that I've bought with bits at the end. If I was to maybe put a buy offer up, I would make 1 million coins. And I'm sure I could make more if I just looked for the most efficient thing to sell. Now, because booster cookies are so expensive at the moment, what this means is basically if you're a lower fame rank, you're not going to profit if you were to buy these booster cookies from the bazaar. But unless you want to spend real life money, the only way to actually increase your fame rank is to spend bits, and to spend bits you need to buy booster cookies. So there's always going to be a period of time, if you're not a high fame rank, where you're going to have to lose money on booster cookies in order to gain in the future. And booster cookies are a pretty essential part of the game. Even if you are losing a little bit of money, it's usually worth it for the benefits of the booster cookie for whatever it is, 4 days. Which brings me on to the economy of booster cookies, which is interesting. Before we do get into that, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS, it gets yourself 5% off. You should subscribe to the channel if you watch the videos and you haven't subscribed, please make sure to do so. You should join the Discord server, it's linked in the description of this video. We offer slaves and dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry and make some coins, make sure to join. I mentioned before, the only way to actually, create a booster cookie or initially obtain a booster cookie, apart from the bazaar, is to buy with real life money from the community shop. This means that when there's, a lot of people online and buying gems and buying booster cookies with real life money, the price of booster cookies should in theory decrease. More booster cookies coming onto the market, meaning higher supply, that's gonna decrease the price. Well, that's not always true, because if you think about it, when there's more people playing the game, more people actually buying gems, buying cookies, selling them on the bazaar, there's also more people playing the game who need to buy booster cookies from the bazaar, which introduces a pretty strange dynamic. But this is not always the case. Of course we have inflation, but booster cookies back in the day used to be a mere 2 or 3 million coins. Now recently we've seen them soar up to almost 15 million coins. That does not align with inflation, so there's got to be something else going on. When you look at the booster cookie itself, not only does it give you bits, giving you the potential to profit just from having a booster cookie active, look at all the buffs that it actually gives. Plus 25 wisdom on all stats, plus 15 magic find, keep coins on death. Permafly on private islands and gardens, quick access to some menus using their respective commands, /AH, Bazaar, Bank, and so on, which is just, it's hard to play the game without it. Sell items directly to the trade and cookies menu, AFK immunity on your islands and garden, toggle specific potion effects, link your items in chat using /show to sell your materials in stash to the bazaar, increase chocolate factory production by 0.25 or times by 0.25. Now, it's just basically difficult to play the game without a booster cookie. Now in Hypixel and Hypixel Skyblock specifically, what you would consider human rights is basically having a rank. I guess in Skyblock terms, a booster cookie is basically human rights. There's maybe a god pot as well. Because it's going to be very, very difficult to function without a booster cookie. It really is. I mentioned before, there's got to be something else going on. Why have the booster cookies rise in price if in theory, it should probably stay around the same? Well, I've got a theory, and we've got to think about it. If there's a lot of inflation in the game, and people are made aware of this inflation, people, you know, if they were in the right mind, they would invest in some items rather than keeping the coins as liquid cash, because, well, if there's inflation and you keep your coins as coins, well, those coins are going to be worth less than they were previous to inflation. Whereas if you invest them into items, those items are going to inflate with the rest of the economy. Therefore, you might even end up relatively making a bit of money, or at least maintaining the money that you've got. At the moment specifically, dyes have increased in price ridiculous amounts. Skins have increased in price ridiculous amounts. People are looking for investments. And booster cookies seem like a pretty stable investment. Booster cookies always pretty much hold the value. They never really crash. And if they do crash, it's usually down to a reasonable price. If there's a lot of people who are bulk invested in cookies, and there's still the same amount of cookies coming onto the market, less supply and the price is going to increase because there's the same demand. And really, you create a sort of a never-ending cycle, because those people who have invested and seen their investments grow in value are going to eventually sell. If large amounts of items are sold, the same item on the bazaar, the price is going to drop because there's more supply suddenly on the bazaar. There's lots of different angles you can look at booster cookies from, and yeah, it's completely different to any other item, really. Other items that you can buy with real-life money are usually limited in supply. Skins, things like that, maybe there's a quantity of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 40,000. Not unlimited, like booster cookies though. But unlike skins, booster cookies are a commodity, an item that pretty much every single player has permanently active if they regularly play Skyblock. Now, I know just how difficult it is to actually play the game without a booster cookie. If you ever started a new profile, maybe even specifically Iron Man, where it's, you know, typically more difficult to actually obtain straight up coins. You have to sit there grinding for maybe an hour or so just to buy a single booster cookie, because realistically there's not much you can do efficiently in the game without one. In that sense, it is really human rights. Everybody needs a booster cookie. They're only purchasable for real life money. Yeah. And it's interesting to think, booster cookies were added to Skyblock in September 2020, which now is coming up on 4 years ago. About 3.5 years ago now, to be honest. Skyblock had been around for almost a year, and yeah, booster cookies were never a thing before that. It is hard to imagine, with some of these new updates that we've had to Skyblock, what times were like before them. For instance, something as simple as Hypixel Skyblock levels. The levels, right? It's only been what? When was the levels update introduced? Less than 2 years ago. Now it would seem just absurd if we didn't have levels, and I guess it's the same with booster cookies. Anyway, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.